Hello YouTube, this is Shirley426 and today we have the review of the HG Byakuchi, the drill and claw arm set or version. So once again, I would like to mention a few things. Number one, this video will be uploaded very late today because as I mentioned before in my previous video, I have to go work on the weekends. So I'll be filming this, I'm filming this very early in the morning, and then once I come back, I'm going to be editing and then uploading it. So it's either going to be uploaded very late today or either tomorrow. So just keep that in mind. Alright, so this is the third Byakuchi kit. I'm talking about the release-wise. This is the third Byakuchi kit that Bandai has released. The first original Byakuchi was basically the same kit, but instead of the drill and claw arm, it had regular arms, the missile launcher, and a machine gun, and a shield. The second one, which was the FGE colors, which was basically this one, the dark color version with all sorts of weapons going on here, so that's that. And then the third one is this. So I would like to mention the base kit is exactly the same. All three kits are the exact same build. So there is no differences, there is no changes. So if you built any of the Byakuchis before, you should know what to expect. The only difference is in the equipment. So basically the arms for this case. So I won't be going over articulation on everything, but I will be going over articulation on the new equipment and arms, since those are the new changes. Alright, so I did tell myself I wouldn't get this, but once again, I just enjoy like Kyoukai Senki kits a lot, so I might as well, keep enjoying them. And yes, I am very aware of the new announced kit that was recently announced regarding the Kyoukai Senki series kits, and I'm definitely getting that as well. Alright, so let's talk about what you get. So first of all, what you get, of course, is obviously from the series or set is that the Byakuchi itself, and then we get the massive looking drill arm and the claw arm as well. Now, you might be wondering, like, what else does this kit come with? Does it come with its original stuff, yada yada? And I'm gonna say partially, because here is what you're supposed to get, / leftover parts. So let's go over the leftover parts. So number one, we get these ankle joints or joints, which is used in the other males kits as well. So this one uses a different designs, which is why it doesn't use those. We get its original shield, nothing too special. We've seen these before. And yes, we do get some hands. So number one, hands, and we do get its original arms. So if you want to go back and making the Byakuchi into its original state with that has regular arms, you can do that. And hand-wise, you do get the multi-purpose hands as well, so that's good. Of course, the only thing you'll be lacking is technically these handle-looking areas are supposed to be yellow / gold, so you're gonna need some stickers for that. You have to use the stickers, or you're gonna have to paint those parts yourself. So that's that. And hand-wise, yes, we do get all the original hands. We get the open hands, 7 of them, and then you still get the right trigger finger hand. Although you don't get any guns from this set. I would like to mention this. So yeah, you do get the arms, you get the shield, you even get the missile launcher, but you don't get the gun. So it's really up to you. But if you have bought the FGE colors, that thing comes with a grenade launcher and its original machine gun. And unless you're going to be dual wielding that on your display, you do have an extra gun. So alright, other than that, sticker-wise, we get the same sticker sheet. The only changes is the golden ones here, because the gold ones on the claw arm, there's these 2 pistons, and you're supposed to be using these stickers, but I decided to color them in gold, so yeah. And then you do get a sticker decal sheet with all sorts of numbers. So you get the small ones in gray and a little bit larger ones in white. Alright. Alright, so let's see what we got. So there won't be any comparisons because once again the base kit is exactly the same. The only changes are the arms. So yeah. So let's see what we got here. So same overall base here. Now I have heard some people asking me if this thing still has that issue, and I was asking what issue were these people referring to. And apparently when you keep moving the top body or waist, it splits, and I don't think I've had that issue before yet. So yeah, I don't see any splits at the moment. So or maybe it could be one of those issues where it happens over time, because some kits they'll be fine when you're first done building it, but after a few years that could happen to me as well. So that's just addressing a few things that I heard about. Okay, let me just get this aligned. There we go. Alright, so let's look at the arms first. Now the arms. So despite how large these equipments are, the overall articulation is exactly the same as usual. So we can flop this part open to go either up or down, no problem. And make sure it's all lined up. And you still get the forward and backward movement as well. And still the piston parts in the body also still works. And you can still move the arm a little bit 90 degrees to that side as well. And despite how big it is, you still get the rotation on the arm, although you might need to know where you're going. And then, yeah, and the only changes or issues that might occur is that these arms are a little bit more heavier than the original, so which is why you might see the shoulder going down a bit on mine. So you might need to tighten those joints with something else, but yeah. And still you do get the overall movement here. Now because of this black back part here, there's a little bit of limitation on how far you can go backwards, but once again I say this is enough as well. And then you can see these two pistons here, those are supposed to be stickers. I decided to use a gold Gundam marker and color them. And when you actually open the claw arms, you can open each individually. So let's open the bottom one. You can see it can actually move together. So yeah, I say piston, but it's just an illusion of a piston part here. So it doesn't actually slide in, so yeah. Or these are maybe one of those things called hydraulics, or I'm not sure what they're called, but yeah. So yeah, you can move the top section and bottom section. So this piston part, this is actually a single solid piece, including the gray part. So yeah, sorry for the disappointment, but oh well. And so yeah, you can actually open them pretty wide, and yeah. So apparently, according to the manual, this equipment setup was used for not exactly for direct combat. I mean, it can be used for combat, but this was meant for a very specific operation. So they had to like break into a prison, something like that. So they decided to dig in. So yeah. All right. So now for the other side of the arm. So same shoulder armor, same joint. Of course, going 360 with this one is not going to be possible because it's just so long. So keep that in mind. And of course, compared to the same situation here, where because of the colliding of the shoulder, you can't really go all the way back. This is as far straight you can go. All right, and then now the drill. Now the drill is pretty interesting. So these are usually a drill you would think like something from Gurren Lagann, but no, this one looks more like an industrial drill as well. And the interesting part is that this was also mentioned in the manual. Each part of the drill here is individual. You can actually move individually here. So the front part can move on its own. You can rotate on its own. These two parts are, I believe, okay, so these were a single part. It's a little bit hard to differentiate, but yeah, you can also move this individually on its own. And then the next two parts you can also move individually as well. This part is actually is the entire giant part, so it won't move on its own. So there are these, I can imagine someone motorizing this so that these would spin on their own individually. So yeah. So the drill is very large and technically can be used for combat, but yeah, I would say not ideal in most situations. And according to Matt, there's also a mention about another enemy unit, which I'm kind of curious what it is, but it had to, FG's is a little demon. So there's another unit mentioned here that it has to face against here. I'm kind of curious what that is. I don't think name-wise it's the same thing that's been announced, so who knows, maybe we might get more information regarding that. But yeah, other than that, everything is exactly the same. Now, if you're getting the Byakuchi, one thing is that or the Kyoukai Senki kits, the males unit, one thing I should be always aware is that the legs or ankles, they're not your typical Gunpla style legs, so you're gonna need to get used to the articulation of the legs as well. And the feet, yeah, you're gonna need to get used to the feet as well. So other than that, it's a very fun kit. If you're willing to try like another model kit from series from Bandai that's not Gunpla, I would highly recommend this. It's still in the mecha category and it's very fun. So yeah. So there's been 3 Byakuchi kits so far, the original, the FGE colors, and the drill and claw arm sets. Now, if I had to choose one, I would definitely go with the FGE colors because once again, I'm a big fan of like the desert tactical colors like this, and I do like the overall weapon setup in this mode. But once again, if you want to have like a customized build, like a very specific, like a construction type, like style design base kit, I would definitely recommend the drill and claw arm set, and it does come with its original arm, so it's still highly customizable as well. The Kyoukai Senki kits in general, they are meant for customization as well because you can see all these ports that are not being used. Anyway, that is pretty much it for the review. So once again, this was my third Byakuchi kit. If you want to check any other reviews, you can check my previous reviews as well. If you guys got any questions or requests, leave a comment below. I still have more stuff to buy and build and make reviews out, so please stay tuned. Until then, see you guys next time.